Speaking of Trump's 2020 election lies, we won't spend a ton of time on this, but Jenna Ellis, his former lawyer, who was very prominent during all of the attempts to overturn the 2020 election and all of that, she has admitted now to lying about the 2020 election. Take a look at this from the New York Times. Trump lawyer admits to falsehoods in 2020 fraud claims. Jenna Ellis, a lawyer who represented President Donald J. Trump after his loss in the 2020 election, admitted in a sworn statement released on Wednesday that she had knowingly misrepresented the facts in several of her public claims that widespread voting fraud led to Mr. Trump's defeat. The admissions by Ms. Ellis were part of an agreement to accept public censure and settle disciplinary measures brought against her by state bar officials in Colorado, her home state. Last year, the officials opened an investigation of Ms. Ellis after a complaint from the 65 Project, a bipartisan legal watchdog group. The group accused her of professional misconduct in her efforts to help Mr. Trump promote his claims of voting fraud and undertake a concerted effort to overturn the legitimate 2020 presidential election results. An earlier complaint about Ms. Ellis had been filed by a lawyer, Benjamin Woods. So because of this disciplinary process within the state bar of Colorado, she had to admit that she was lying, that she spread falsehoods in all of her media appearances and all these different public situations. And in one sense, it's really good that she's admitting it. But in two ways, it's so enraging because, number one, you know, people won't change their view despite one of the individuals that they believed on this admitting that she was lying. And number two, you know the cycle will continue. You know that individuals for short-term gain will lie, especially when it comes to our elections. Many within the MAGA election denier crew will continue to lie about our elections because, at least for the leaders, it's beneficial in the short term, getting that loyal audience who is very passionately for you. And then down the road, they'll admit they were lying, but it'll continue. And it's the same thing that's a little bit sad about watching the reporting, watching all of the massive news stories when it comes to the defamation lawsuit against Fox News, because you know Fox News is still going to be around. And if in some crazy world they weren't, a different right-wing media outlet would fill their place, because unfortunately the audience is there. And no matter how many times it is clear based on private text messages coming out of the defamation lawsuit or Jenna Ellis admitting here, no matter how many times these lies are proven to be lies, even out of the mouths of those who were telling them, so many people will still come back for more. They'll still go find whoever to tell them these stories about reality that just aren't true. And that is so unfortunate and damaging, as we talk about so often, to our democratic process with this and just to our country as a whole. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show hours before all the clips are uploaded to YouTube, plus get the full bonus show every single Saturday, you can do so by going to patreon.com/Luke Beasley. That's patreon.com/Luke Beasley. Link in the description.